Right, Steve, thanks for joining us. 2-1, almost last kick of the game for Great right at the end there. How was that for you?
Yeah, obviously it's a fantastic feeling. It's been a long time since we won a game that late, and if I'm being honest, I thought they were going to win the game. I thought first half we were really good. First half I thought we were the better team, albeit to be fair, they had a couple of good chances first half. It could have gone in maybe 2-1, could have been 3-2, 2 or whatever, but I thought we played some really good football first half, which has sort of been a bit of a theme of how we played lately. But second half, they're a big, strong, hard side to play against, and set pieces. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can play, they can mix up what they do, and then they're difficult to play against. And although we looked okay, we were getting under the cosh a little bit. I think they hit the post. In fairness, it could have had a penalty with a handball. It looked like Jaden had handballed it, but my counter argument would be first half, how we've not got a penalty when Kai's run through on their centre half. I will never know. That's a stonewall penalty all day long. So maybe that evened itself out a little bit. And then second half they're getting on top, and all of a sudden we scored from nowhere, which was Montel's come up and nicked another goal, which is great for him. I think that's 5 in 7 I think he's got now, which is a great return. And then I thought we looked quite comfortable, and then out of the blue I thought we'd give them a goal. Listen, they still caused us a lot of problems, and Jacob's made a couple of saves at the post and missed probably a couple of good chances, but then Jacob has a poor kick on the floor. We have an opportunity to clear it on the edge of our box, and between Ez and Isaiah, I don't know what happened, and we didn't, and they scored. And my concern was then we were running out of steam anyway. I thought we were going to get done, and they got corner after corner. And then in the 96th minute we get corner, and I actually said to Wilkes at the time, I don't think we scored from a corner all year. And we did. And it was nice to see Great score as well. He's been out of football for a long time with a serious injury. He's worked really hard to get back. So to come on and get the winner in the 97th or 8th minute probably adds a little bit more that it's someone that's been out for that long to get his first goal for the club. And yeah, a fantastic win. Overall, draw would have probably been a fair result if I'm being honest. And I would have taken that before the game, and I would have taken that with 30 seconds to go. But we've had games this year, we played well, got nothing out of them. We didn't play very well last week, we drew. This week I think we played well, we put a hell of a shift in, that's the one thing I will say. Bear in mind we had some key players missing again. Sean Preddy pulled out early, about an hour and a half before the game. Sean's a skipper and a big centre half for us. But the boys that played where they had to play, I thought they were magnificent today and put a great shift in. We've ended up getting the 3 points, which is great.
So Poole being the side that they are, what was your plan coming into this game?
Yeah, we knew it'd be a difficult one. I watched them a couple of weeks ago and got a report on them last week, and they've always been a good side under Tom, and they were very good again today. They can mix up what they do, which physicality is difficult for us because I've said it a million times, we're not the biggest side. I like to press high, I like to have a gamble, and I thought first half we did that really well. Second half it might have come on top of a little bit because, as I say, when we press that high, we leave a lot of areas where we're one-on-one. It was tempting to maybe try and match them up from the start, but I didn't want to do that because we haven't played 3-5 too much. But as the second half went on, it was only a matter of time before they were going to score, and oddly enough, just before we made the changes, we scored. But I still thought going to 3-5-2 was right because I thought we were getting a little bit overrun. They got great energy in midfield and good fitness levels. Whoever plays up front is an absolute handful, and I think as well when you see their changes, they almost bring on like for like and don't look any weaker, which is very difficult. We were light on the bench today, and I don't mean in the quality of the players, in the positions, and that was a little bit of a concern. But no, we wanted to have a go today because I think if you sit in against a team like that, I think we'll get done. And if we go 1-0 down, I think we're then going to struggle to go back up the other end. So it was let's have a go at them. I'd rather lose a game or win a game 4-3 trying to win it than end up getting a 0-0 or losing 1-0 just trying to sit in and defend. We can't do that. I don't manage or coach that particularly well, and I don't think we have the personnel to do that. Having said that, I thought defensively we were good, considering we had a couple playing that position, 2 centre-backs, not natural centre-backs, and dealing with 2 of the best forwards in the league. We spent all of Thursday night working on their shape and what we would try and do, and I thought especially first half it did work well, and second half was probably a slightly different test, and we've just managed to come through it in the end.
And Ezra, as you're talking about the centre backs, has come back to Borough. How important has he been?
He was important today with Preds pulling out at 1:30. That's for sure. Ez was great for us last year, and he gives a great flexibility of where he can play: right back, right wing back, central midfield, centre half. Put him in at centre midfield last week at Yate, which in hindsight was a wrong decision, and my mistake, not his. He hadn't played for a couple of weeks and probably wasn't up to speed maybe to play him in midfield last week. But he's trained hard this week, got himself going again, and he's naturally a fit lad. But I thought that probably suited him a little bit more, just going and doing a defensive job today rather than tracking runners across the park maybe when you've not played for 2 or 3 weeks. So he's a player that I wanted to keep at the start of the season, but he left on the right terms and we've stayed in touch, and you hope sometimes when them players maybe need you and you need them, that they do come back, and he did come back, and we've needed him because, as I say, the squad's bare bones, only 3 again on the bench today, all 3 outfield players. We've got 3 or 4 out injured. Hopefully 1 or 2 of them are not too far off. But we do need some different options on the bench. As I said, nothing to do with the quality we've got on the bench, but it's the positions, because today we had Yui and Gray, 2 centre forwards. And I'll give Jayden a shout out today. He was a little bit unfortunate to be dropped today. I spoke to him yesterday about it, but I felt with their physicality and size and how they were playing to their forwards, I didn't think that would suit him today. And that's not his fault. Ultimately, he's a left back, but he's got himself back in the side playing left-sided centre half late, done really, really well. And it's never nice to drop a player when they played well, but what I will give him his due is when he come on, you wouldn't have known he'd been dropped. Went on in the midfield, did well. Then we went to a 3 at the back and went left-sided, and I thought he was really, really good. Decision making was good, defended well, cleared his lines when he had to. And that's what you want, that's the reaction you want, so it puts a problem in your head for your next game of who plays.
So it's the last game of the Premiership for the break for the World Cup. What's it like knowing that you're continuing while there's a World Cup going on? That's not normal, obviously, it's normally in the summer. And what are you hoping, that maybe some more fans from Premiership clubs will come down? Yeah,
it's a bit of a strange one. I've not got too excited about the World Cup. We've got enough stress trying to manage it, let alone anything else. Although it's quite nice to watch games when you're not involved in. You can actually just watch the game for once without being stressed or about to lose the plot every 5 minutes. It's a bit of a strange one. It doesn't feel right to me. For personal reasons, I don't think it's right where it is. I don't think it's right at the time it is. Maybe that's a debate for another day, but there's too many reasons why I don't think it should be being played there, if I'm being honest, but it is, it ain't going to change. But yeah, you're so used to finishing your season, looking forward to the World Cup, everyone's watching it down the pub or the beer garden, out in the sun, and this is completely different. The only thing I'm hoping it maybe does do, it maybe gets a few more people through the gate. We struggle with crowds this year at times. We've still got the same great loyal support that we've always got, but your numbers have dropped a little bit over the last couple of years for quite sad reasons, unfortunately. But it is what it is to a certain extent, and you're hoping maybe with more people watching World Cup games on the telly, and then if their Premiership side, London team's not playing at the weekend, I know the club are doing some incentives with clubs to try and get more people through. I think every game will be on in the bar. As you can see down there, they've just bought a new TV, so the budget's probably just been cut. You might have to let a couple go tonight, or one of the staff's going. I don't know, they haven't told me yet. But yeah, like I say, it's an interesting time. But it would be good if we could get a few more people down here, or if more kids are watching World Cups on. All the kids will get into it. If we can maybe target and get a few more of the local school kids down here again, because it does make a big difference. Just bring a few, like Poole brought a few down here today. Just gives a bit more atmosphere to it, and it would be good if we could get a few more down here. But yeah, it's as I say, it'll be nice to watch it, but I won't be getting too stressed about it. Obviously I want England to do well and win it, but I won't be getting stressed about that. It'll be a nice break to watch a few games, and then we've got a big month coming up, lots of games coming up, busy period, and we have picked up lately, which is good, but we've got to keep doing it, because you're almost 2 or 3 wins away from looking at a place that we were a million miles away from 3 or 4 weeks ago, but you're also 2 defeats away from going back exactly where you were. So we've got to keep that going. So yeah, if we could keep doing well and enjoy watching maybe a few games down here in the World Cup anyway, fingers crossed, we'll see.
a weird one, that England are going to be playing Wales, obviously, and potentially Gareth Southgate is going to be playing against Joe Morrell, who we played against at Portsmouth last season. We were playing against someone who would end up at Qatar.
Yeah, I don't think Joe mentioned us in his interview. And also, Peter, our chairman's Welsh as well, so there could be a bit of separation in the camp that day. I know where his allegiances lie. Yeah, football's weird, isn't it? It's like you say, a year ago. Well, it was a year ago last week we went there, which was brought back some unbelievable memories, and obviously seeing a few non-league teams on the TV, it brings back those memories, but it also brings out a little bit of envy and jealousy that we didn't do it again. It was so good last year, it would have been nice to have had another go again, but I think it just shows you from players that come from lower levels and trying to work their way up the ladder that who knows where it can take you. And as you say, you've got a lad who's playing against Harrow last year in the FA Cup, which I'm sure he'll treasure for the rest of his career, and now he's off to the World Cup, which is, listen, you couldn't make that. That's absolutely brilliant. That's what you want, and I hope Wales do really well, except for when they play England. To be fair, a lot of the nations to do well, but yeah, as long as we beat them and they get through with us, that would be good. And it's good because it keeps all the bars and clubs busy and lively, and keeps big interest in the tournament. And the longer they stay in it, financially it's good for all the clubs, and every non-league club will be the same. You've seen them all advertising at the minute, trying to get people through, and that's good. That's what you want, and the longer we stay in it, the better it is for everyone. But as I said, I'll watch and enjoy that, and we'll now crack on and start preparing for Tuesday, and then for the journey to Concord next week, which will be a totally different test for us.
So talking about that game that we're playing next week, Concord Rangers, they're a level above us in Conference South. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough draw. We could have got a more favourable draw, but I think most managers would probably say the same. When you draw a team that's a level above, it immediately takes the pressure off you, because the expectation isn't there for most people. Don't get me wrong, the expectation for me is for us to go there and put a proper shift in, and if we do that, we'll have a chance. We did it a couple of times last year in the Cup, against Chelmsford and Welling, and everybody knows on your day it can happen. We've also been knocked out by teams below us in various cups over the years while I've been here, so it's difficult. Sometimes it's harder when you're the above side, but law of averages, if we play Concord 5 times, you'd probably expect them to win 3 or 4 of those. There might be a draw in there, there might be one that you might nick, but we will have to be 100% on it, and maybe they have a slightly off day, and you take your chances and make the right decisions, we'll have a chance. But no, it's a game. We'll go down there I'm sure they've watched us, and we'll go down and play the same style. We'll try and win the game. We won't go there to try and steal a 1-0 or anything like that, or go to play for penalties. We won't do that. We'll go there and we'll try and win the game. And if the boys put everything they can into it, I can't ask any more of them than that. And that, I think if we play well, we'll have a chance. But if they're on it as well, it'll be really, really difficult. New manager gone in there recently, done a great job. They've picked up some good wins. Couple of changes in playing personnel. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge for us, but we'll go there and we'll enjoy the day. And as I say, the boys will give it everything they got, and with the bits of quality we've got going forward, I think we'll have a chance on the day. But you never know. We'll see.
Great, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Last minute goal, pretty much there. How was that?
What a feeling! It's a big relief. I've been here for about a month now, and if anybody knows my story, I tore my ACL last year. Been out for about 2 years now with COVID and my injury, and it's been such a hard journey. So to come back and to come off the bench and help the team, I'm buzzing. I'm so grateful to be able to do it, and Steve has been great with me, let me build my fitness up, and just happy to contribute. Last week I come off the bench, got an assist to draw us the game. Today, come off the bench, got a goal. So, like I say, as long as I'm doing my part, I'm buzzing.
Nice one. So you came off the bench. Were you told settle for a draw or?
No, we don't.
Well, we were winning at the time. We were 1-0
so we just said, be a handful, work hard, and try and nick us a goal. And that's what I did. I thought I started off a bit shaky, but it's hard when you're coming off the bench, you've got to get used to the pace of the game, and those things are difficult. But like I said, just buzzing. The ball came to me, dropped to me nicely, smashed it again on target, and just what a feeling, you know. For the whole time I was doing my rehab in the gym, on the treadmill, I'm just thinking of what's that feeling going to be when I get my first goal, and it's exactly of how I imagined it, so I'm buzzing.
So a really long time coming for you personally.
So long.
And pull off the shirt.
Yeah, I know. I tried to take it off, but
it's right. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, those ones your body just takes control. You know, I had a few kids that I coach come down to watch, and also my family as well. So it was a excellent moment as well.
What did you beeline towards them?
Yeah, I was straight to them.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right, thanks very much for talking about us. That's great. And excellent. Hopefully more goals will come very soon.
Loads more. Thank you.